overwhelming number of our athletes, of course, are able-bodied, fit, some of the fittest and healthiest kids that we have in the state. And Linda and I were lucky enough to be up at Bendigo last week at the State Multi-Event Championship. And as a selection of kids, you'll not see a happier, more well-adjusted, stronger, fitter, leaner bunch of kids than what we had up at Bendigo there the other day. But we'll talk more about the multis probably later on, Linda. I'm sure we'll get to that.
Yep.
This is all about giving something back to the community. It's about getting kids involved in raising funds for a worthy cause. And having 3 boys at primary school myself, I know how important it is to tell the kids, hey, boys, it's not all about you. It's all about giving to others. Very, very important that kids actually learn that lesson, and parents learn that lesson too. Sometimes parents happen to forget that the world doesn't necessarily revolve around them. But there are other people out there in greater need than what we are. We're indeed very fortunate, and it doesn't take much. For your life to go from happy, healthy, and fit to quite the opposite. Some bad luck or whatever it might be, and you could easily find yourself in a place of need, as our family has on numerous occasions. Usually to do with kids falling out of bunks and hitting and falling off scooters and that sort of stuff.
My twins are at that stage now, and I'm worried about getting rid of the cots and doing that. So I hope I don't end up at the Royal for that reason. Well, look,
the Royal's only down the road, Linda, is the point.
True.
So
that is true.
Over 4,000 staff, as I said, so they're all there for us. The centre becomes a team with every family working together as one, and I'm sure there's lots of examples out there today around Victoria. And it is a significant part of the Little Athletics calendar. Of course, it is one of our endorsed rounds, of which we have around about half a dozen or thereabouts. Last year was a significant year for Little Athletics Victoria, having fundraised enough money to clock over that magic $1 million mark. And that was fundraised at both the Relaython and the Kids Day Out event on Good Friday, which is, of course, another significant fundraising effort that we do on behalf of Royal Children's Hospital, as indeed many, many other organisations, corporate, non-profit, charity and otherwise, do at Easter time. All right, so on that note, I think we might hit the, I should say too that our production today has been brought to us by Raf Agostino, who's the corporate comms manager, social media manager at Service School Sports Victoria, and also our esteemed Lachlan Rain, a colleague of ours within Little Athletics Victoria office, Linda, who's been able to set up our program for us today in conjunction with Raf. And just on Lachlan, he was dressed up in his garb today. Do you want to talk a little bit about where Lachlan was off to?
So Lachlan is an umpire for the AFL, and today he was off to a camp. So it's all started up for Lachlan. So you keep an eye out for him on TV for a few of the games coming up this season. And he's all prepared for that.
He is all prepared for that. He's been in the system now for a couple of years. He's a boundary umpire, and it's one of the umpire camps that he was off to today. So at Optus Oval, Princess Park, which of course was the venue for the start of the launch of the AFL Women's calendar league last night. But just before we get to that, Raf, I'll get you to hit the button there and we'll just cross over to the video. And so we'll scroll through this over the next couple of minutes and we'll be back soon.
I think that's a really touching video there, Anthony. Always pulls on the heartstring myself. When I watched that one, I had one of my twins actually get admitted to the Royal last year when she was 9 months old with bronchiolitis, and I think that's a kind of common virus for that first year. So every time I watch that one, it just brings back flashbacks. And I don't think I'm the only parent that's had children go to the Royal, so that movie definitely is very touching. We're going to move now to some of the statistics on Relaython so far today and also throughout the week, given that a few centres actually completed their Relaython earlier in the week. So we might have a look at some of the fundraising efforts and also some of the laps that centres have already completed. So on the screen there, you can see that there's 536 laps completed already. That's 214 kilometres already.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And it's hard to think that, you know, in those records you read out earlier, that was a record for one whole centre doing 200 kilometres in a day. It's a really massive effort. So we're at 536 laps altogether, and that's only 20 minutes down into the Relaython for today, and that totals also for during the week as well. If you look to the left of the screen there, you can see the region. So we've got Southern Metro region with the centre of Southern Peninsula having done 114 kilometres, laps this year, and that's 45 kilometres for Southern Peninsula. Second place there, we've got Springvale Little Athletic Centre, who did 111 laps and 44 kilometres in total. Third place there, we can see
Kahuna.
Yep.
108 laps.
Yes.
43.2 kilometres.
Kilmore and Districts after that. Little Athletic Centre, 24 laps and 11 kilometres in total. Following on from Balmoral, is that Keilor?
Brimbank. Brimbank Little Athletic Centre, 20 laps at 10.4 kilometres. Keilor Little Athletic Centre, 21 laps, 8.3 kilometres. Nunawading, 18 laps, 7.2 kilometres. Chelsea, 16 laps at 6.4 kilometres. Pakenham is 16 laps. Sandringham is 14 laps. So all up, already we've done, just in the time that we're just speaking here, like 6 kilometres, and we're up to 556 cumulative laps. So fantastic effort, guys. Make sure you set up an account through Everyday Hero, and we'll put it up on here on screen when we check the Results HQ figures every half an hour or so.
Yes, that's right. As you can see on the screen now as well, the individual fundraising efforts you can see on the right there. So this year, as mentioned, we're doing family team efforts, and a lot of donations have already come through on the screen there. So you can see the top 10 centres collectively, individuals collectively, and also families who have been fundraising. So great effort so far on all the fundraising. Remember to make your donations today. We're at $5,300 already so far. So we're hoping that figure can go up by the 12 p.m. mark.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Raph, can you bring up those individual ones again, please? It would be good to read a couple of those out and give those people a bit of a shout out. Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, they're parting with their hard-earned, then I think it's only fair that we actually tell the world what a good job they're doing. So, all right, thanks very much for that. We've got Archie, Percy, Jasmine, Dean, and Dean Wood donated $307. We've got Marina O'Day, $212. Geelong Little Athletic Centre, $200. Caitlin Lees, $177. Mornington Little Athletics, $159. Leah Comensoli, $106. Thank you, Leah. Joseph Spenceley, $50. Marley and Seth, and yet to look like they intend to donate, but haven't yet clicked the button. So we await your donation, guys. That's right. That's right. Yeah, the intention is a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. So we'll be doing that review every half hour, as Anthony said earlier. We're going to move on to a PowerPoint visual on some of the history of and the illustrations from previous Relaythons. So I think a shout out is necessary for Mark Knight from the Herald Sun, who's done our illustration both this year and last year. But every year the illustration has been done for us for the poster for Relaython, and it's been a really great effort and a good donation for the Royal Children's Hospital to participate in Relaython every year. And you'll see that in the upcoming slideshow for all the covers and the posters for Relaython in the history. After we move to that, we'll be then going to the couple of centres for the crossover. So looking forward to seeing what some of the centres are hosting in their day. I've heard we've got a Peppa Pig in one of the centres. I'll keep that one as a surprise. Oh. Which centre's got that in the centre, and a lot of excitement to tune in on.
Yeah, just on the history there with, you mentioned Mark Knight, Linda.
Yes.
Well, going back to 1970, and those of you that grew up in Victoria, my vintage or probably older, will remember Weg, who was the long-term, Bill Green, who was a long-term cartoonist for The Sun back in the day before it came the Herald Sun, would draw a poster for our Relaython every year for promotional purposes, like he did for the VFL Grand Finalists. And the winning VFL Grand Finalists would actually have a poster drawn for them that people you could buy through your local newsagent after the VFL Grand Final. And Bill Green, Weg, as he was known, did that every year. And Mark Knight has continued that tradition for us as the main cartoonist from now Herald Sun. And so we get great promotional stuff done for us, and helps enormously in being able to promote and raise the profile of Relaython. So thanks very much, Mark and the Herald Sun.
A good little history there, Anthony, from all the posters and years of Relaython.
Yep, it's quite a tradition. Absolutely. So you can see on screen, everyone, the donation website. So if you're looking to make a contribution to Relaython this year, click on lavic.com.au/Relaython, and the screen will come up. You'll be able to create your own account. If you haven't done it already, you'll donate directly through our partners, everydayheroes.com.au.
All right, so shortly we'll cross over to the Brighton Centre and also to Cranbourne as well. So we've got them locked in for 9:35. So we're just going to move to a little break now and then head over and have a chat to those two centres. So make sure you tune in for 9:35 and look at the first 2 centres off the mark.
Back live then, and back with Relaython. See you then.
We're back, Anthony.
Back, Linda. Yep.
So
I note our counter just keeps going north every time we look at it. It's going up exponentially at the moment. So there's obviously more participating centres, and they're posting their results and their donations, as you can see on screen there, real time, which is terrific, with the assistance of Timing Solutions Sports.
Results HQ.
Thank you. Results HQ. Sorry, and our other partners. So thanks to all you out there that are continuing to run around. The weather is sensational. You can see our backdrop here. We're in a different studio to what we were. I call this a studio in a very loosest of terms, Linda, but our backdrop is actually Albert Park. You're in Athletics House here, where Little Athletics Victoria, Athletics Victoria, Athletics Australia upstairs, Victorian Athletics League, and Little Athletics Australia downstairs all reside in the one building. And this is a sensational place to work. And our backdrop out the back here is exactly what Linda gets to see 8 hours a day when she works here. And you will see, this is not a green screen, this is actually Phoenix Live, and you'll see people running, you'll see people jogging.
I think that's actually park run out there this morning. We saw them at 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock doing their morning park runs.
They're very keen, and that's all part of the Nitro series, which of course is happening down here at Lakeside Stadium just behind us later today. Forklift downstairs, bumping in the major event. There'll be boats out on the lake, the rowing crews. I can hear the megaphones out there on the lake at the moment. So it's it is well loved park, Albert Park, and more major event action, of course, coming up in the next sort of couple of months with the Grand Prix as well. So action stations down here just at this point, and a beautiful day, not only down here in Albert Park, but all around Victoria.
Yes, definitely. I think it's really important that we might move on to the winners from last year, Anthony. So significant donations and a massive achievement last year from the winning centre, and also the winning individual last year from the Relaython. You would all remember Dominic Moylan, who fundraised a massive amount. He's a part of Q Little Athletics Centre. He won the individual award, which awarded him to fly his whole family, thanks to Jetstar. Flew his whole family up to the Gold Coast, and they stayed at Royal Palms Resort, and also got to go to the theme parks, the Village theme parks, Movie World and SeaWorld as well. So an awesome prize to win, but a very well-deserving winner. Dominic and his family did a massive effort last year with Relaython and the fundraising. Also Q Little Athletics Centre participated in Dominic, got behind Dominic and the cause that involved his family. And you know a little bit more about the centre and how they went last year as well, Anthony. Yeah, look, the terrific effort down there at Q. It's it's an extremely well-run club just down there off Belmore Road and Burke Road. Great sporting precinct that they're part of there. There's cricket, footy, Little Athletics, and other sports that occur down there in the precinct. So a great sporting community around Q. And just as an aside, Linda, you won't know this, but last year my young fella plays locally for the Brunswick Dragons in and we were actually done in the grand final by Q, and which is a bit of a bone of contention, but notwithstanding that, they were a better club on the day, better team on the day. And might have had the more athletic little athletes in the team.
Well, they could well have too. There's something in the water over there at Q, but yeah, they certainly did a massive effort last year. And they, as you point out, they won the prize. They quite justifiably were our biggest contributor last year for Relaython 2016. So yes, congratulations to Q, and no doubt they'll be in the running again today. Yep. For sure. But the prizes donated by Jetstar. Jetstar, as many of you would know, are sponsored Little Athletics all over Australia. They're sponsor of all of our states. Yep. They then very generously give to us, they assist us with our operational expenses, with the promotion of the sport. We have Jetstar endorsed rounds, and there are many other initiatives that many of you don't see that Jetstar are involved in behind the scenes. So when officials, staff and others at our regional events, at our state events, wear our orange caps, the reason for that is because we're assisting Jetstar with their promotion, and the demographic of Little Athletics being young families is exactly the heartland of where their market is. So the partnership works terrifically well. and has done over the years, and we expect that'll continue for many more years to come. So just on the prize there, Linda, last year where the family went to Queensland, you are a native of Queensland yourself, little known fact.
Yes,
you hide it well, but you clearly converted Victorian now, of course, living here for only 3 years, but that makes you Victorian, right, of course. But you would be familiar with Royal Pines Resort and the theme parks and things? Yes,
on the Gold Coast there, Royal Pines. A few of you might know that it's actually a golf course resort. So it's a really nice one, just in the hinterland of the Gold Coast. And of course, the theme parks are second to none on the Gold Coast. So I think that should be a really great holiday, and one that is really well deserved for the family, Moylan family, when they go up to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, you're familiar with the Gold Coast too, presumably? Like you grew up in and around that area? Or
grew up in Brisbane myself, yeah.
But you spent many ill-gotten hours down at the Gold Coast, presumably at the theme parks and things? When,
I did, yes, growing up, yeah. Okay. Family holidays, and in particular Burleigh. We do a lot of family holidays in Tweed Head, so a little bit further south of the main Surfers Paradise area. So
you could vouch for the quality experience that our Q family had last year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Terrific.
Really good one up there.
All right, brilliant.
We've actually got a Jetstar video to show you all, recounting on a few highlights throughout Jetstar's past 12 months. So we might move on to that video, and you can tune in and see a bit of Jetstar highlights.
Welcome back to 2017 Relaython live stream, and to my left I have Glenn Turner from Nitro, and Glenn is officially the Athletics Victoria Chief Executive, but he's been seconded over to Athletics Australia to pull together the Nitro program, of course, which is happening today. It kicks off next Thursday, and the last weekend the last date is Saturday the 11th. Correct. So Glenn, you've had a massive project to pull together within a very short space of time. No shortage of eyeballs across the world actually on this project either. Politically, it's got a lot of clout and weight behind it. Athletics Australia board made a big deal the other night at the Nitro Gala event about their vision to bring this sort of thing together. And it's all about forging new directions in athletics. It's about reinvigorating the sport. It's about making it relevant to our community in terms of what our communities want. And whilst a lot of people will say, look, we're making a big bash version or similar terminology with Nitro, you could use that terminology. I'd rather say that I'd rather have the position that we're actually forging new ideas and new directions of our own volition. And so during the course of the week, a few of us here working in the offices have popped outside to look what's going on. And Lakeside looks like a completely different venue to what it does week to week. So what's the experience been like for you?
It's been fast moving. The last 3 months have been pretty hectic, but today it's all starting to come together. We've transformed Lakeside Stadium. We've increased capacity. All of the teams have now arrived in Melbourne, which is fantastic. They're doing their final preparations this morning before this afternoon's competition. Yep. All of the television production from 7 Network and NEP have moved in. There's a huge TV compound outside Lakeside, so we're going live at 7 o'clock. Live into New South Wales, be on sort of an hour delay because of daylight saving into Queensland, and then we're sitting after the women's AFL tonight on Channel 7. So this is the biggest production we've seen at Lakeside. So hopefully we will sell out. There are still tickets available, and you can pick up tickets at the gate. There's some great seats in the back northern stand or in the southern stand. The weather is perfect. Everyone's looking forward to it. But the thing for me is the buzz from the athletes. We had a technical meeting last night, and we had all of our team captains and team managers, and just the excitement around this innovative new product. And without being facetious or probably that's not the right word, we're not actually reinventing the wheel. What we're doing is picking a whole lot of events and changing them up a bit and making it into a fun and fast entertainment package. I think the best way to describe it is it's an entertainment package that just happens to have 12 athletics events in it.
Sure. So. Yep. Terrific. And look, the program is new and innovative. And look, should this format be run over multiple years, I imagine that will evolve as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And look, great to see the elimination event.
Yep.
And it's being a cyclist, my track cyclist, we race elimination events all the time. And it was interesting to hear Ryan Gregson the other night at the gala talking about how they're going to race it, what are the tactics to use, and who's going to do it. Because as a miler, he's used to racing at a consistent pace, but in an elimination event, I know from experience, you've got to be a sprinter and have endurance as well. And whether he's the right guy or whether you bring in a sprinter to do it who can smash out sprints sort of every lap, this sort of stuff is really going to challenge these people and challenge the athletes. It's not necessarily part of their training. It's very different, but I think that's part of the fun of the whole thing.
Oh, look, all the talk is around the elimination mile. Just for viewers out in LAVic land, it's a 4-lap event. There'll be 6 starters, and at the end of each lap, one country will be eliminated. Now, you might say, what happens if it's too close? So, technical team from AA and Nitro, at the end of each lap, we'll take a photo finish picture. So we'll get down to the, the 10,000ths if we have to.
Yeah.
So even if we can't tell on the line that there's an obvious person, it'll flash up on the board, and then by the next 100 meters, they're out. They'll be corralled off the track.
Does the announcer shame them, or does a track official come up, or how does that work?
It's we were talking about the other day whether we actually have to have a big gate like they do in greyhound racing. That's probably a bit severe, but no, I think the athletes are aware that they know when to get off the track.
It's going to happen.
But there's heaps of other events. We've turned things upside down. We've got a 2x300 meter relay. Our medley relay is 2, 4, 6, 8, which has been unconventional. We've got 60 meters, which traditionally has been an indoor event. We're bringing outdoors.
Mixed gender relays too.
Absolutely. So all of our relays in medley 4x4 and 4x1 will be 2 men, 2 women. We've got a great new concept for our para athletes, our ambulant sprinters. So we're actually going to see them very much like the stall gift. So we'll have somebody on scratch and someone on 42 meters, I think, is the furthest handicap. So we want to see, all of our ambulant athletes come across the line at the first time, which would be, it's pretty exciting. And we've got a couple of Australian para athletes that are competing for China, which is great. So, it's a great feeling out there. So if you get a chance, come down to Lakeside, or if you have an opportunity, watch it on the 7 Network.
Yep, no, terrific. So we saw the great man out there striding through a couple of days ago.
I'm not training anymore. Sorry. Oh, you mean the
other great man.
Yeah, okay, cool.
He was out here and caught a bit of a crowd watching him, of course, in the media and all that sort of thing. And he was at the gala event the other night, and he and John Stephenson handled themselves beautifully in terms of the chit chat and conversation and things. But sounds as if he's really enjoying it, and as his colleagues that he's brought out here, and of course the other athletes are very excited to be part of it as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the focus obviously is on Usain Bolt, but the caliber of athletes that are coming out here, not only in Bolt All Stars but also in Team England. The team captain Christina Arugu is the Olympic champion over 400 meters. She's so excited to be running with her countrymen, against the Bolt All Stars. You've also got a myriad of athletes within Bolt All Stars. Mark Hollis, Cyrus Hostletter, Safa Powell's out here, and Kip Chirchir, the middle distance Kenyan runner. Day. It's a plethora.
It's amazing.
This is probably the first time since, and we're trying to work it out. I think there was a Nike tour way back before you and I were CEOs. Back in 2001 was the last time that we had this caliber of athletes, and it extends beyond the Olympic Games. Because we've got a bucketload of US track athletes coming out, and it's perfect timing for them. They're preparing for the World Championships. Touch wood, the weather stays as good as it is today. 31 degrees is expected, around 27 at when we kick off at 7. So the only thing I'm worried about is the breeze. But I was a 400 meter runner. The long jumpers and the pole vaulters worry about the breeze. It's the same both sides for us. So we just get out and do our job.
Smash through it. The great thing about it is that overall, in terms of big picture, it's bringing the athletics tribe together. So, which doesn't have this opportunity, all global eyeballs necessarily on Australian athletics.
You put me under pressure, but it's twice you mentioned the whole world's watching.
Oh, no, the whole world's watching. Don't worry about that. You are the man. But you've been so busy, you haven't necessarily seen all this stuff. But,
which is probably a good thing. But there's a whole team at Nitro that have put this together. Look, our partners, and without it being sort of a sponsor opportunity, NEP and 7 Network have been fantastic in getting together and saying, look, how are we going to do this? The commentary team led by Bruce McAvaney, Steve Hooker, Tamsin Lewis, Tamsin Lewis Manu, also John Stephenson, and Nathan Templeton. We've had the last week walking around the track and basically rehearsing all the events and how they're going to cover it. And we're going live. This is not 1 minute delay, 30 seconds delay. We've got one shot at this. And, with the athletes' help and with the great team, with our officials, and a lot of these are our Athletics Victoria and Little Athletics Victoria officials. We welcome some of our Australian officials from New South Wales, but a majority are our Victorian officials, which is awesome for them to have an opportunity.
Absolutely.
So it's great. I'm looking forward to it. Come on down to Lakeside once you finish the Relaython.
Okay. No, great. Gwen, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I'll leave you to it.
Good luck. Cheers.
Good on you. Thanks very much. We're back again live here at 2017 Relaython, streaming to the world, Linda. And we thought we'd do an update with regards to where we're at with our progress. And looks like that's Corio.
There we go. They've taken pole position.
They have indeed. They've leapt
75
laps.
Oh my goodness.
How did that happen? That is amazing.
That's massive. No, wait, 182 laps.
182.
Gone up again.
Yep. Thanks to Results HQ, we're getting this information loaded as we speak. Keeler, Little Athletics Centre, 174 laps. Hugh is 137. Nunawading, 134. Knox, 124. Brimbank, 124. Pakenham, 121. Kilmore is our, looks like it might be our, they're
119.
Yeah, 119 it is. Mentone Little Athletics is 114, as is Southern Peninsula. So all over, we'll absolutely brain 3,000 laps, 2,930 there at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Over 1,100 kilometres. Fantastic, guys. So with and off the back of this, of course, hope the donations are rolling in. We're seeing lots of barbecues. We've seen lots of sun, lots of sun smart kids and sun smart adults. I think we even had a hamstring twang over at Essendon there, and just before we swapped over. So plenty of activity out here today. And we just had another change here. We've got Northern Country, Kilmore and District, Southern Peninsula are snuck in there with 114.
I think Southern Peninsula just made the top 10. They were in the lead right at the start of the day. Do you remember Anthony?
They were
first in line there. So we might even cross over to another centre, possibly our final centre.
Online.
We've got Knox Little Athletic Centre. So we might have a chat to them. This is our famous Peppa Pig, saving Peppa Pig for last.
And we've got Stephen on the line here. Yep.
All right, Stephen, how are you there?
Hi, Linda.
How are you going? Do you want to fill us in on how Knox Little Athletic Centre has been going this morning?
Yes, great. It's been a fantastic day. We've done 120 laps so far.
Yep.
We've got the under-13 girls going at the moment. We've had all the ages going in between their events.
Yep.
And all the kids have been really keen. We've had a line at each tent waiting for them to do the Relaython. It's been quite successful. Raised a lot of money as well.
Yep.
It's been putting money in a tin around the track, and the centre will also match the donation. So we'll be putting quite a few $100, which will be a great success for the Royal Children's Hospital.
That's great. That's really great. So you must be, if you're at 120 laps, that should put you in about 5th or 6th place. I'm just looking at the rankings here. We've got
5th.
Corio at 185 laps. So still time though. Still time to push that ranking a little bit higher.
Okay, fantastic.
That's the live running lap counter. So you've got a barbecue there, and I hear there's a surprise dressed up Peppa Pig soon.
Yes, we had Peppa Pig come out earlier, and we also had Batman and Buzz Lightyear as well had an appearance.
How cool is that?
Love having photos taken, and they'll be posted on their website during the week.
Yep. And do you still have the barbecue going there?
Yes, we do.
Do you want to show us around and show us around the centre there and see all the close-up action?
Maybe it's just winding up, heading up towards Travel Prospect. Maybe just head down to that way, canteen, and
yep.
I think the barbecue might have ended up down there.
There might be some waving kids
earlier in the morning,
keen to get there.
We've got Front Straight still going with the hurdles.
Yep.
And we've also got one of the handover points here at the middle of Front Straight. So they're coming around in lane 3 in the Relaython. We generally only had one child running at a time, but there've also been groups of girls that have been running.
That's good when they all do it together. We've noticed that a couple of centres do run together.
Yeah, so we've cordoned off the track here. You'll see the bollards. We had the set track events running on the first 2 lanes, and then we had lane 3 from up to the Relaython, and then we have our new hurdles on the track on Front Straight.
Great, that's really good.
So we've been able to run all the events and
still do the Relaython.
Just the kids really enjoy it.
And does Knox have a record there at the centre for laps completed or fundraising records?
I'm not sure how many we did, what our record is. There is.
So you're just going to try and do as many as you can, and
we'll be checking how many laps is on the trophy, how many we did last time. And then we'll check the record. We can post it on their website.
Yeah, that sounds good. I might pop you on to Anthony, the CEO, and he can ask you some more questions about the centre there.
Yeah, g'day Stephen, how are you?
Hi Anthony, very well, thanks.
good. That's a shot. Yeah, some great scenes from out there. Plenty of radiant heat out there, a bit of zip in the track, and looks like there's a throng of people. So it's happy scenes.
Fantastic. We've just got some of the young boys coming around now with the baton.
Oh, I can see. Yep.
One of the girls is in front, three of the boys.
Yep. Nice one.
Coming around with the baton, so they'll be handing it over.
No, nice work.
Transition points.
Now, just a minute or so ago, you passed a quad bike, which is parked, I think, next to the track. Any truth in the rumour that that's employed when you find yourself falling behind?
The quad bike, the tensia and so the hurdles around.
No, you don't use it to knock up your lap times or anything like that.
Definitely not.
Okay.
It's made it a lot safer for getting all the equipment out.
Yep.
And getting our hurdle trolleys around. So we certainly haven't been putting that on the trolley.
On the quad bike. No, look, I reckon some clubs actually might, to be honest, with the way they're going, absolutely smashing it out. Some of them are. But
there's a lot of laps down the Corio.
Yes, indeed there is. Yes, we'll have to look into that one. But for now, we're just happy that they're participating. So look, we got the barbecue going. What sort of qualities are flying off the barbecue plate at this point?
I think the barbecue went up a little bit earlier.
Oh, just?
Yep. We're still got our coffee van.
Yep.
Having it down the canteen still open, but the barbecue was went up a bit earlier.
Nice.
Probably just saying the video there, we've got our sleeper chase getting ready as well.
Right, yeah, good.
The kids are cooling off just over there.
Yep, good. Yeah, you got water in the jump?
Yes.
Nice one. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, so you'll be not long to go now. Actually, it's only about 10 minutes or so. So you'll certainly, or less. So you'll certainly get through to 12 o'clock without any problems at all. Any parents knocked out a few laps today?
We didn't have any parents participate. We had about 450 athletes here today, so it's been busy enough just with the athletes.
Yes, no, we've had a couple of parents from other clubs who actually joined in because they didn't want their kids to get all the action. And we actually had a live hamstring strain on screen as well at one point out at Essendon. So part of the perils of the job, but that's all part of it. Anyway, we'll leave it to it there, Stephen. Thanks very much for showing us around. Thanks for participating out there at Knox, one of our larger clubs, of course, and no doubt you'll raise plenty of funds and stuff over the journey too as a role of getting involved in Relaython 2017.
Okay, thank you.
Good on you. Thanks very much. Bye for now.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
There we go. All the centre crosses complete. So that was a good little wrap up, and glad we got to see a few of the centres and all the action, and glad we got to chat to a few of the centre committees there. We've got one final video to show before the live stream ends, and then we'll finish up with the winners and a couple of announcements about what competitions are to come, and a little review on the letterbox competition, the Jetstar letterbox competition that we need to announce to you all and remind you to get some more submissions in and photos in for that one. Keep sending all your photos in from the day, relaython at LAVic.com.au, and of course keep donating. Donations will close on the 31st of March 2017, so you can keep those accounts running, clicking over until then, and we'll see who the winning family is at the end of the day. Yeah, thanks for our partners today too, Results HQ, Jetstar, Subway, and Everyday Heroes, exactly. Our production team, Raf Agostino, do just a mountain of work behind the scenes for us. Yeah. Lockie, who set it up. Andrea, our esteemed events official, who's just walked into the room here, who's who does a power of work behind the scenes as well. Linda, thanks to you. I should ask you, actually, you're an elite athlete, and you did junior athletics back in the day? I did little athletics up at Jetstar Little Athletics Centre, which introduced me to the triple jump when I was in under 12s myself. And that was my first record I ever broke, and then Mum thought, oh, I might get you a coach, and maybe you're good at it. And, yeah, you actually showed something at an early age. Yeah, I wasn't fast enough to be the 100-metre sprinter, so I just picked up triple jump quite easily and went on to high school, and was always never the best at high school, always a couple in it, and persisted and went on to Glasgow in 2014. So in the Commonwealth Games team, no less. Yes, yep, Commonwealth Games. I tried for Melbourne and missed out by 7 centimetres. I thought I'll keep trying, and tried for India and missed out by 4 centimetres. And I thought, right, Glasgow's going to be the one for me. So came 5th at Glasgow, and then ended up having twins afterwards. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to try for Gold Coast, but no promises for anything just yet. All right, quite a story there from Little Athletics through to senior athletics, through to elite. So this is what we try to do at Little Ass, is inspire our kids through events like Relaython
and our regional events, our state events, and our suite of coaches, our knowledgeable officials, everybody else involved in the sport. And it's all about producing great results and getting kids out there having fun so that it can be healthy, safe, lead healthy and safe lifestyles. So thanks very much for your participation in Relaython 2017. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this with our production team and yourself, Linda, for the past 3 hours. Have flown, and we've seen some great footage from all of our centres, as we've seen, and it's just a power of support for the Royal Children's Hospital, which is as good a cause as you're going to get, to be honest. So we're very, very proud to be associated with that.
So we've got one last video to share, and then we'll wait till the 12 o'clock battens down time, where we will announce the winners of the Relaython.
All right.
Back. That was all the excitement from last year's Relaython 2016, the magic $1 million Jetstar round, and Relaython for last year. Before we finish up, I just want to make an announcement about the letterbox competition. So throughout the year, we encourage our members to get involved with the Jetstar theme and promote the partnership focused on family travel. So the athletes are encouraged to take their competition uniform with them on family trips or wherever they might be going, and take a photo in front of a Jetstar signage to enter the competition. You can be creative, take your competition uniform, any label or planes. If you see Jetstar plane in the background, maybe take your little athletics uniform and stand in front of it for a picture. So the letterbox competition is 7 Jetstar keys that are available to collect. Those 7 selected winners are given a key to open one of the letterboxes at State Track and Field Championships. And one of those magic letterboxes has a $250 Jetstar voucher inside it. So that's what determines the winner for the letterbox competition for this year.
Fabulous.
And send your entries through to info@lavic.com.au for that one.
All right, terrific. So probably about time that we can post some provisional results or announce some provisional results.
Yep.
Now these won't be final, but because some clubs will be posting their results post our live streaming here today. So in terms of where we are just at this point in time, out in front, I can't believe this. This is Corio,
wow.
237 laps.
That is huge.
That's amazing. Gosh, I think I made a joke before about Knox with their quad bike and how they use their quad bike to actually jump on the quad bike and knock up a few extra laps. I'm not sure what's in the water down there at Corio. It could be a fleet of quad bikes, I think. We've got Keeler on 210 laps, outstanding result as well. Nunawading on 150. Hume on 137, Sunbury 136, Pakenham 135, Knox 135, Kilmore 129, Mentone 126, and Sandringham on 126. So over the course of today and probably into Monday too, I'd expect that the centres will finalise their results, and we'll get in touch with those centres and we'll make some noise about those that actually circulated the most and posted the greatest number of laps. So what we don't have at the moment is, sorry, just before I get on to our donations, 3,344 that we've done. I'd love to know how many kilojoules that would have burnt.
How many? Great,
what would the equivalent number of hot dogs would that be?
Yeah.
Or meat pies or something like that?
Yes.
That would be awesome. 1,345 kilometres. So, albeit all of it's flat and none of it's up and down hills and stuff, but that would be a good stat to know. I'm going to crunch that figure. I'm going to crunch that and see what sort of number we come up with. That's right, exactly right. Yeah. So, look, I reckon we've done it. I reckon we've brained this one, Linda.
Yep,
wraps it up. 3 hours. Thanks very much, everyone, again for their support of Royal Children's Hospital. Thanks to our partners, our production crew, Lockie and Raf in particular has done a giant job here to keep us online. Special guest Glenn Turner from Nitro, all of our centres that we crossed to today. And terrific to see all the kids out there and parents, notwithstanding unforeseen injuries and things. But all of that all goes into making a brilliant event. So thanks for your support for Little Athletics and for the Royal Children's Hospital. Signing out, and we're all over and done with.
Until next year, Anthony.
Until next year.
Thanks
very much.